YouTube. This is Montoya, also known as I Am Source. I am coming to you today with some words of wisdom. Particularly today, I want to talk about the people with two faces, also known as wolves in sheep clothing, recognizing deceptive influences and guarding your integrity. So, I want to just ask a provoking question, but before I do that, please hit the like button and please share, and also hit the bell if you want to know when I'm making new YouTube videos. I will probably do some words of wisdom kind of daily, and that's one of the things that I want to do is kind of do some words of wisdom. Also, I will also be putting together some transformational life coaching. So if anybody is interested, the I'll have my email link down below. But in the meantime, I am putting that together, so it is absolutely not ready yet. However, but once it is ready, I'll be ready to take appointments and do some life coaching as well. Okay? But today, the provoking question is, have you ever trusted someone only to later discover their intentions were not what they seemed? Let me tell you, people out here are a trip. And you better know it. You better know that everybody do not have good intentions. Everybody do not have, even when they meet you, they may not have good intentions. You better know, and you better be able to discern people's intentions. Even with friends and family, you better be able to discern people's intentions. So I want to kind of briefly describe. I did take some notes, so I'm going to be kind of reading from my notes. But I did take some notes because this is something that I think that a lot of people don't really pay attention to, okay? And it is happening everywhere. It's happening in people's families. It's happening in the workplace. It's happening in schools, among teenagers. It's happening everywhere. So this is something that anybody 15 and older can appreciate, okay? That would be able to resonate and get something from what I'm about to go over. So the metaphor of wolves in sheep clothing, that is a timeless symbol of deception and hidden agendas. That is what that actually means. That is kind of what wolves in sheep clothing or two-faced. I know some of us have heard of people, oh, she two-faced. You've heard people say that as well. But that is it's a timeless symbol of deception and hidden agendas. Do you have people like that in your life, or have you met people in your life who had hidden agendas or deceptive practices? So I kind of want to explore and recognize deceptive influences so that you can protect yourself and we can protect ourselves out here in these streets and maintain your integrity in a world where appearances can sometimes be misleading. So, the origin of the metaphor is actually biblical. And it comes from Matthew 7 and 15. It says, beware of false prophets who come to you in sheep's clothing, but inwardly are ravenous wolves. So to kind of explain how this metaphor has transcended religious context to describe anyone, it basically disguises harmful intentions under a facade of kindness and trustworthiness. That's what wolves in sheep clothing is. To be disguising something as harmful when you know you're trying to harm somebody, but in the end, when you're in front of them, you're kind and gentle and sweet and all of that. So that's where that's my background for the origin of the metaphors, coming from Matthew 7:15. So understanding the traits of a person, or a wolf in sheep's clothing, or aka two-faced, some people would call it. What are those traits? Well, number one, I'm gonna say is manipulative charm. Deceptive individuals often use charm and charisma to disarm suspicion. So they're gonna be nice to you. They're gonna be lollygagging in your face and making you think that everything is good, but behind your back, they tearing you down like a snake. Talking behind your back, saying any and everything. But the person that can recognize deceptive influences will understand. Also, exploration of vulnerabilities. So, explaining that, so a person that's been a wolf in sheep's clothing, they're going to prey on an individual's insecurities, or what they think is a person's insecurities, what they think is a person's fears, excuse me, or desires to gain influence. Some examples could be, your relationships, your workplace, people you work with, and your community, where you see a lot of that. In school, you see a lot of this behavior that's prevalent like this, and even in church, okay? So even in church. That's how you can also understand the trait of a wolf in sheep's clothing. Masking true intentions. So they may adapt the guise of allies or as mentors to gain your trust. So a person will come in and try to gain your trust, try to get close to you, try to understand you. And they emphasize that true intentions often reveal themselves over time. It doesn't take long. Excuse me. If you observe a person long enough and how they move, it doesn't take long for you to understand a person with deceptive practices. You can almost start to see through it. But sometimes if they're really close to you, or if they know you, and you would never think that anyone would do anything like that to you, it can take a long time. Because you may love this person so much that you would never think that they would stoop so low to do something like that to you. And there are circumstances where people, and that could be family, friends, foes, co-workers, church members, any and all of them, you would never think that a person would do that. But why? Why would they do that? Interesting. Jealousy, envy, strife, all of those things are deep rooted. Those are things that need to be healed. Why would a person be jealous? Why would a person be envious? Because it's something that they don't have, or you can't be jealous of a person's personality. If that's that person's personality, that's just what it is. Why are people jealous? What is that deep root that causes jealousy? What is that deep envy that causes causes you to go deep. What is it? Because guess what? When you don't like somebody, or if there's a reason, there's something in them that is reflecting at you. So if you don't like a person, you really need to look in the mirror, because guess what? The one thing that you don't like is really what's bothering you. It's really your insecurity. It's really your envy of yourself. So you have to go deep and figure out, what is it about me? Or what is it about this person that I don't like? What is it? You have to really go inside yourself and ask yourself that question. What is it about this person what triggers me with this person? Why do I not like this person? Now, it may not always be something internally. It may be something that you don't like about this person that really bothers you for some reason. For it's maybe something that they do. But if you are putting on a show for that person, pretending like you like them in front of their face, but behind the scenes, running your mouth, that's a problem, and God is not pleased with that. God is not pleased with that, because you're showing you're not operating in love at that point. And God wants us to operate in love. Okay? So people will mask their true intentions, and they won't show you. That is something that you have to build a good discernment about when you meet people, and figure out, why are they here? Everybody that's around you, if you got your circle cut short, and I always say keep your grass cut short, because you know what? You can look through and see when a snake coming. You can see it a mile away. So how to recognize and protect against deception? So number one, I'm going to give you a number one. You need to develop some discernment. I encourage listeners to cultivate a self-awareness and critical thinking. Well, what is self-awareness? And self-awareness is to know, okay, what is this person's true intentions? Why are they around me? Why do they? Especially if it's somebody new. You need to ask critical thinking questions to find out, what is it about this person? Why are they coming? Is there a motive? Or do they truly just want to be my friend? Because a deceptive person will reveal itself, and it doesn't take long. And anytime you feel something in your gut that's telling you this person is not being true, this person is being deceived, if you feel it, that is your first inkling. Yeah. And you know what? A person will always show you who they are. And when they do, you better believe it. When they show you one time who they are, you better believe that's who they are behind the scenes. That's number one. Develop discernment. Practical steps you could do to develop your discernment. Ask probing questions. Observing patterns of behavior, and seeking counsel from trusted individuals. So probing questions would be, you have someone that, and I'm just going to use this as an example. You have someone that you ask them, let's just say you met somebody and you're going to be dating someone, and you ask them, are they divorced? And they blatantly tell you that, yes, I've been divorced for 2 or 3 years, or whatever it is, that, okay? And then they're wanting to take you out on dates, but not following through. They never keep their word. If you have somebody, listen, ladies, let me tell you something. If you ever have a man that wants to take you out, one, he never takes you to his house. That's a major red flag. And if you're just dating someone, you don't even want to really be going to his house, okay? Or you can't call. You know, everybody now pretty much have cell phones. But if he schedules a date with you and breaks it, okay, the first time, you get a pass. The second time, you get the side eye. Third time, cut them off. Cut them off at the neck. They don't get a third time. And especially if they're using excuses, which could be a valid excuse, but you feel it in your gut. Listen, ladies, your gut tells you everything. Your gut, you got to trust what you feel. Trust what you feel, because that is your inner knowing. That is the I am source within you. Everybody has an I am source. Everybody has a higher self. What does that mean? That means that if you trust your gut, that is your God within speaking to you, to trust what you are hearing. Okay? The next one is going to be your actions speak louder than your words. Okay? If a person is saying something to you, but their actions don't line up with what they're saying, trust that too. Okay? The third one is set clear boundaries. Establishing and maintaining personal boundaries to prevent manipulation, and also yet enforcing those boundaries. You need to enforce those boundaries. Rely on your wisdom and your faith, meaning your intuition, like I said, will drive your guidance in revealing hidden motives. Also, those are the main points. Those are the main points that I want to make. So I'm gonna, if anybody wants to share any comments, please do, about wolves in sheep's clothing. But that's all I have for tonight. Okay. Thank you. Like, share, and subscribe.